Ooh, hang on.
James, get the fucking video up.
Hang on. Welcome everyone to TFRL A-League. As you can tell, we are live. We have a special introduction from our boy, who some of you may be familiar with, to introduce us to China here tonight.
As my friend from Xinjiang would say, Xinjiang.
As his friend from Xinjiang would say, Xinjiang. And we are live, as you can tell. It is TFRL A-League, Round 3, China. As you can tell, B-League drivers have had to be invited to the session here tonight because of quite a few absences from the A-League guys. But this does mean we have our best attendance of the season so far. And joining me in the commentary box at the minute is Mr. LMC Will and Mr. That Small Guy 2001. Seraph has just joined, by the way.
Hi everyone. Hi. Hi.
Hi everyone indeed. I hope we're live. I think we are. Yeah, we are.
Hi. Yeah, we are live.
Right, Fran and Mr. Alienware want an invite. I will give one of them an invite. Yeah, there's 4 spaces available. Well, there's 3 spaces available now.
Fairly where Joyce in quali, we need to do quali and then we just need to back out because I'm not having him in it. Otherwise, I will do the deed.
Yeah,
I will get rid of him.
I personally want to see Mr. Alienware. I know he's been kicked out of FRL, but I want to see him progress as a driver in other leagues before he comes here. That's where I think we're thinking. So that's VSR Francis coming in on the bottom. He is the sole representative of the guys in that party.
What team's he off in?
He can join Seraph Force India. And he should be tuning the stream, so it should be fine.
Yeah, he's literally gone into it straight as soon as you said that.
Lovely job.
And do you need to go to spectator?
I do need to go into spectator. We can start, I think. I'm very eager for this to get underway.
Let's check the settings. 95. Oh.
We have got everything on fine, haven't we? We've got damage on, haven't we?
We have damage on full.
We do have damage on. That's good.
Cost full. So,
Oh, hello.
Oh. Right, yeah, we can ready up, guys. 17 drivers. For half of these, well, 3/4 of these are B-League drivers. Because of the... I mean, if I didn't invite these guys in, we probably wouldn't be racing tonight, so it's a no-brainer, really. Hopefully I will be joined by my co-commentator very, very soon, Mr. Colin Wood. If Fran or TJ can invite him to the lobby, and if we can send another invite... TJ? No, not TJ, Mr. 73, Mr. Aaron Collingwood. Waiting on him. He's on FIFA, but I think he might have went somewhere. That's my impression of thingy.
By Call of Duty. It's a good game. Not like FIFA. Well, enjoy your commentary. I'm gonna meet you.
Aaron has been gone for the past hour. Oh, that's fantastic. And it's a wet qualifying session. Oh, wow. We're on the intermediates. Oh, your guys' reactions before I meet you? No reactions from the drivers here tonight. I shall... Right, let's get... Yeah, there we go. Oh, we've got a car coming out of the track. Let's have a look if it is. Dave Wallbank. Dave Wallbank coming out of the track, followed by a Toro Rosso, which I think is Fidgeting Dragon in behind. Yes, it is. Both B-League drivers. Running. I am just saying... Right, I've just sent this message into the comments. Right, that's that sorted. And for now, you have me as your sole commentator, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm personally not looking forward to this, if I've got to be honest. Onyx Mer's coming, and he's coming late. Oh, we've already started. Unbelievable. Why do drivers not see the time that they're supposed to attend? Oh my god. Alright, who's on lap? Let's have a look. Everyone on that outlaps at the minute. Fidget and Dragon just getting left through by David Warbank. Onyx Mer has joined. He's just joined late. Thingy. Right, hang on. Let's turn that off. There we go. Beautiful. Very nice. David Warbank is now coming onto his lap. He's the first car out on track in the Haas, replacing the absent Variable, who is on Call of Duty, which I'm very frustrated in. But let's see if he can set a very nice lap. It is intermediate conditions here in China. I've been informed that it is a dry race by Storm in the comment section. I definitely did not say 8 PM Onyx. I definitely did say 7 PM, as Button has disconnected from the session. That's great. Given him, he should be able to get in because I've given out plenty of backup invites before this race begins. And yeah, David Warbank is on a lap in the Haas. And it will be interesting to see the mix between A-League and B-League drivers here tonight. A-League drivers, of course, representing current championship leader is Wise League in the Red Bull, just coming out the first sector in the Red Bull. Currently leading the championship with his 2 second place finishes from Australia and Bahrain on 36 points at the minute. Closest challengers aren't here tonight. That is CSR Vulcan and somebody else that has mistaken my mind. That has gone off my mind at this moment in time. My podium predictions, if I've got to be honest, because it's a wet qualifying session, I have a feeling Thick Rogue might do the business. Thick Rogue will be up there. I think Wise League will be up there. I think Fran will be up there. Hopefully he can go out and settle that. And I think Seraph will be up there. It'll be interesting to see, really. I can't really make a prediction because, of course, we've got the B-League drivers in tonight, and Fidgeting Dragon goes for a spin in Sector 3. That's why the yellow flags are there. Dave Warbank has just came across the line. 45.8. Very slow lap, probably in comparison to what some of these guys can do. Going quickest currently with a 1:45.2, but is bettered by Jamie Boy, another B-League driver, in first. Current provisional pole. Oh, and there we go. Now the times will start to tumble, and LMC will, recent signing to LMC, of course. Deneen and Jamie Boy have set the same lap time. So LMC will, formerly Lightning, Gasly, formerly X3 X30, is currently leading the session at the minute. Plexit's in second, Bossman in third. Nice lap from Plexit there, making his debut in TFRL here tonight. There is a yellow flag in Sector 2. If I just have a look to see who that could have been, can't see anyone. It's probably at the hairpin, if anything. But LMC Will does lead the way early on in the session. Let's go on board for a lap. On board Seraph. He's at the end of the straight. He's approaching the second last corner. This tight 90-degree right-hander at the end of the straight. And somebody has just jumped up. I think that was Berra going up to 5th in the Renault. Seraph coming around the final corner now, and Seraph is going to be up there with the pace. Seraph 43.9. He goes third at the minute, just ahead of Bossman. It's interesting to see the difference between the A-League and the B-League drivers here tonight already. LMC Will on top of the 43.6. All the A-League drivers currently rounding down to 7th, with Kazizel in 7th at the minute with a 44.2. About 6.5 tenths separating the top 7 at the minute. And then you've got that big gap. Just going in the middle of that is Thick Rogue, who just improves, 44.6 now. So that is the end of the A-League line. And it's Deneen, Jamie Boy, David Warbank, Billy and Storm, all B-League drivers, as Bossman has gone quicker. Bossman in the Ferrari goes quickest. The 43.5. I'm predicting, hopefully, we might get a 42 by in this session. It will be interesting to see. Yeah, Onyx, you do have to start from the back. We weren't aware that you were coming late. So if you can, please message me in future if you're running late. That'd be so much appreciated. Let's give a bit of airtime to one of our new drivers here tonight, making his return to TFRL. I think he only did one race last season, either in Baku or in Silverstone. VSR Francis, representing the VSR esports brand, of course. And you never know, the VSR guys might be watching this stream. There is somebody just spun in Sector 3 that looked like a Mercedes to me spinning. Let's have a look if we can pick up on who that might be in Sector 3 going slow down the straight. Somebody else has gone for a spin. Another yellow flag in Sector 2. And, oh wow, Seraph goes quickest in the Force India. So VSR Francis' teammate, Seraph, the Portuguese driver, currently on top with a 43.1 corner now. Is he going to be going up there with these lads? He looks like he is. At the minute, let's have a look. Coming across the line now, 44 flat, quite respectable time from VSR Francis on his return to TFRL. Just putting him behind Plexit and ahead of Berra, which is good to see. And not really too much of a difference between the A-League and B-League drivers at the minute. Billy currently leading the way from the B-League drivers, the 45 flat. So he's 1.9 seconds off the pace, which is quite respectable, with the guys ranging from 10th down to 14th. Small Guy and Button have not said laps yet. Looks like Small Guy might be getting in a banker lap now in the Sauber. So it will be interesting to see. Storm 2006 UK is in B-League. Hopefully I can pick up some points, says Onyx. Yeah, hopefully he does. Yeah, Small Guy did set that banker lap. Button in the first sector in the McLaren. Going rather slow, if I've got to be honest. Not what we like to see. Might be playing a bit of a tactical game, keeping them out of the thingy. In fact, there is quite a few cars going slow. That's Jamie Boy going slow on his outlap. Button going rather slow, unless he's desync at the session, which I hope he hasn't. But Seraph on top at the minute. He's run out of field down the straight. Wiselig second, Bossman third, LMC Will. What? Alright. LMC Will in fourth, Plexit in fifth, VSR Francis in sixth. Is he improving on his lap? Let's have a look. Fran coming across the line, is he improving? No, just set to 44.2 there to go 6th, Berra 7th, because there's a late Thick Rogue in 9th, and Billy Deneen, Jamie Boyd, David Warbank, Storm, Small Guy, as I think Thick Rogue has just put himself up to 8th place ahead of Cazzizzle, and the Toro Rosso's off. Oh my god, we nearly had a bit of a clash there. That was Fidgeting Dragon getting a 5th place grid penalty. That was very dangerous, and I think the game is right for rewarding him that. I probably won't be removing that, if I've got to be honest. Isn't there a way I can join via spectator mode? Yeah, if somebody from B-League, if one of the B-League guys can invite Toad, that'll be much appreciated. In this, it looks like I might be commentating alone, as Small Guy set to 48.3. Fidgeting Dragon is out the session. Button now on a lap in the McLaren from the Thrive Esports brand. He's 900 up in the first sector. Let's see how he sets the second sector. Is he going to set the times alight here in China? We shall see. Right, I've just replied to TJ in the chat. There we go. That's towards TJ. If it's thinking towards any use, then think again. Yellow flag in sector 3, just ahead of Button, I do believe. Button now coming round this beautiful right-hander, pretty much a 180-degree right-hander, pretty much a hairpin. And Button coming down the straight now, using ERS mode 4. For those of you not familiar with the ERS mode 4 means he's in overtake mode, now into hot lap mode. Just sending a little bit of ERS down the straight, but yeah, but Button, the ERS modes really do work. I think he might have just invalidated that. Yeah, he has, 44-1. So that would have put him around Berra there. Now, the top, the second, third and fourth, all on laps. And is it starting to stop raining out on track? Let's have a look. Thick Rogue is on a lap. Wiselig is just behind him on track. Boltzmann's in the middle of them. It'll be interesting to see if these guys can. I think Fran hits the wet apparently. Quite respectable lap though, 43.9. Only 8 tenths off Seraph. Only 8 tenths off Paul. It is quite Constantinaed from Seraph all the way down, I would say, to Kazizel. All the way down from 1st to 9th, separated by 1.1 seconds, roughly, as Thick Road comes out the hairpin. The amount of cars going through that section. There is a Haas also going through that section, which I do believe might be Billy. He is the next car out on track. Just getting out of the way of everyone, I think, in the background. As Thick Road is now approaching the end of the middle sector, and he's not on the lap, so let's go on board with Wiselig. Instead, actually, let's go on board with Boltzmann. Boltzmann will be first to come across the line out of these two. Boltzmann currently sitting in 4th. He's just 600ths off Wiselig. And is he improving on his lap? I think he is here. Boltzmann is improving. And he's going to come across the line. And, oh, he goes up to second. 43.2. What's Wiselig setting? 43.2. He goes right in behind Boltzmann. So both of them jumping up to second and third and ahead of Thick Rogue in the space of about 10 seconds there. Boltzmann up to second. Wiselig up to third. Jumping Thick Rogue as David Wallbank has retired out the session. LMC Will is also on his lap. And he's coming around the final corner now in the Sauber. This looks very rapid. This is a 42 here from LMC Will. 42.9, there we go. What was predicted by myself, LMC Will sets the first 42 of the session. And that is a fantastic lap by the Sauber driver to put it on provisional pole. But just wait a minute, because Seraph, Thick Rogue, Fran, Berra are still to come out the pits. So they can have a say as well as the others. Let's go on board with Boltzmann, who is 300ths up in the first sector. Be interesting to see if he's setting the second sector times alight. And he is just about 200ths, locking up with the ABS. Man, it will be interesting to see Boltzmann now coming round the hairpin, and he's going for a spin. And you don't want to be taking the inside here in the wet in China, because it can really throw you and throw confidence and throw you out the rhythm of your lap. And that is exactly what we've just seen by Boltzmann. 200ths up, coming round the hairpin. Possibly now 2 seconds down on his lap as Todd has left the session. Which I don't know why he is... he has joined, obviously, but I don't know why he's... I think he's a small guy in the pits. Jamie Boyd Deneen in the pits. We're going to be getting quite a hive of activity now, as a Williams now decides to come out of the pits. I think that might be... it's Mercedes, sorry, it's Deneen, the Irish driver, coming out. And to give you an update on the standings, which I will get up right now as I speak to you live. Current standings after 2 races, after Australia and Bahrain, are as follows. Wiselig, who's just retired out the session, currently sitting in first in the standings on 36 points. Then it's a tie for second between Vulcan and Matt. Both of those guys on 25 points. Both of those guys not attending tonight. Lightning Gasly and Matthias are 4th and are tied on 4th with 15 points. Boltzmann in 6th with 14, Button in 7th, and Seraph in 8th, Onyx Mare in 9th. Variable also tied for 9th. And then all the way down to the guys that have not attended, Kazizel, who is here, Jumpalainen, Thick Rogue, who is here, Trinity marking with C Vaporizer and X-Lexand, who has been replaced by Plexit in the championship as of this race. Kazizel is up by 2/10 in the first sector. Let's see if he is improving, and he is. He's just improved about 1700ths there. And Kazizel at the minute could be going around the 43.2s. Be interesting to see. It has dried up on track though. It looks like it stopped raining. With 1 minute and 35 left. Yellow flags in sector 3, getting out of the way of the Haas and the Mercedes. Very good sportsmanship there between the two drivers. I think one of them was Billy and the other one was Deneen. They're both on their outlaps. Meanwhile, Kazizel, his teammate, coming round the final 2 corners now. And is this quick enough to go possibly ahead of LMC Will? He's really attacked that final corner, but he hasn't got the run off. Kazizel is improving just about. 500th improvement by Kazizel there, the 43.4 in the Mercedes. Thick Rogue, he is looking to improve. He's just reached the end of the first sector there. Seraph is on the lap. He possibly is the only one that could be LMC Will for pole, as that small guy retires from the session. That relative lap of a 48.3 is not really that great, if I've got to be honest. He was looking like a 43, 44 type of driver. Bossman on an outlap. He's just about to get inside the time, I think. Here. Seraph reaches the end of the first sector. Let's go on board with Thick Rogue though, because he's at the hairpin. Be interesting to see if he is improving. Let's just have a look on board the race director for the moment. Thick Rogue has set the times alight. As you can see, he is improving, but is it enough to possibly challenge the likes of Wiseleg and Bossman? At the minute, it's not good enough. Seraph has got a 5-place grid penalty for colliding with Deneen, so I don't know what on earth has happened there. The time remaining has ended. Seraph retires out the session. But Thick Rogue now rounding the final corner. This is an improvement. He's found it all in the final sector here. Thick Rogue. Oh, to 43 flat, and he goes second. And it's not good enough from the Williams driver. Button retires out the session. We've also just lost Storm out the session as well. Fran has crossed the line. He's going no further than 7th. Berra and Boltzmann and Jamie Boy are the only 3 on the lap. So it's Jamie Boy, Boltzmann, Jamie Boy, Berra, Boltzmann, in that order will go. And Jamie Boy is at the end of the straight at the second last corner. And it will be interesting to see if Jamie Boy can improve on a 45.1, and he looks like he is. Just running wide at the final corner. Possibly could be an improvement of 44 here. Nah, he does go quicker, but it's an invalidated lap. Berra now running down the straight. Boltzmann in the background. Oh! And that was a purposeful crash out. Berra not improving, obviously. And Boltzmann is now coming down the straight. He is the only one with DRS enabled, as Hamres has joined very, very late in the day. Hopefully he can get a car and race. Boltzmann now reaching the end of the final sector. Round the final 2 corners, and he's now approaching the final corner. Will Boltzmann improve? I don't think he is, because of the changing conditions. Boltzmann is not improving, or is he? It's going to be so close on the run to the line. Boltzmann! Oh, it sets a 43 flat, and I think he's just gone 3rd, just behind Thick Rogue. Wow, what a dramatic end to that session. The Ferrari driver Boltzmann putting it up into 3rd place, as I get XP for taking part in the session, even though I haven't even did anything, apart from commentated. And LMC Will is on pole with Thick Rogue in 2nd, Boltzmann in 3rd, Seraph in 4th with that 5-place grid penalty, so he'll be starting 9th. So everyone below him, Wiseleg, Kazizel, Fran, Plexit and Berra will all be moving up a place. So Seraph will be starting 9th. It'll be Wiseleg in 4th, Kazizel 5th, Fran 6th, Plexit 7th, and then Berra 8th. Button, Billy, Deneen, Jamie Boy, Storm, David Wilbank, that small guy, Fidgeting Dragon, and Toad, who was joined late. 18 drivers here tonight. We were worried, of course, that the A-League guys wouldn't be attending, but they've turned out in force, and so have the B-League guys, and it's going to be making for quite an interesting race up and down the field here, and it is a dry race, I do believe. as somebody put in the comment section earlier, we have 19 drivers on track. I don't know who the other guy that's joined is. It's Onyx Mur. Forgot about him. Sorry for forgetting you there, Onyx. But 19 drivers, and I'm gonna go for prediction here. I'm gonna push for prediction, and I am going to say, if he keeps it on track, Seraph will win. I think he's starting from 9th. He can make up positions early in the race. I'm gonna go for LMC Will 2nd, and I think Plexit has got a good chance from further down the order in 3rd. As the formation lap begins, we've got 19 drivers out on track. Our best attendance so far this season, and if everyone behaves themselves on the formation lap, then we will be very, very pleased. Let's have a look at the tyre strategies for some of these guys, and already there's been crashes on the formation lap, so obviously they haven't heard me. Interesting tyre strategies. LMC Will starting on the medium tyres from the lead of the race. Everyone down to Berra from 2nd down to 8th are all on the soft compound of tyre. So that's Thick Rogue, Bossman, Wisely, Kazizzle, Fran, Plexit and Berra. Seraph also starting on the mediums, and everyone from Button, Billy, Deneen, Jamie Boy, Storm and David Warbank all on the softs. That's Small Guy 2001 on the mediums. So 3 guys on the mediums, the 2 Saubers and the Force India of Seraph. It'll be interesting to see how the medium tyres do last around this track. I think you can do a 1-stop around here, but it is a bit of a push if you do want to do a 1-stop. Personally, 2-stop I think is the quicker strategy around here. And just to point out, Fidgeting Dragon, Toad and Onyx Mur starting right from the back of the field. They are all going to be starting on the soft compound of tyre. As I shall have a look at the comments in the meantime before we begin. Everyone going to be on the same strategy, so coming through the field will be very tough. LMC is going to get swamped at the start. Yeah, Onyx, if you're not in the Williams, that's fine. I think there is a free space available for the Williams, as apart from Jamie Boy. Whatever points you score, if you do score points, Onyx, then I will count you in the Williams, because that is your full-time car. So I will actually pass over your points to Williams. But if Jamie Boy scores points, then we have a bit of a situation. Which shall be resolved very soon. And we are waiting for quite a few guys to come round. Fran is taking his time on his formation lap, so is Seraph. And that is the 2 guys that we're waiting for. So, let's get prepared for the start of this race. Here in China, round 3 of the TFRL A-League Championship. 19 drivers out on track. It's going to be a very, very good race. Thrilling action right from the word go. Hopefully we do get a light sequence, and that camera angle is absolutely shocking, so I'm going to have to take it from Thick Rogue. As the light sequence begins, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we're about to go here in China, and it's lights out and away we go, and LMC Will gets a good start, but I think Thick Rogue has actually got the best start, and Bossman around the outside into turn 1. It's going to be interesting to see how, if Bossman can hang around the outside of turn 1. Wiselig's trying to go up the inside. There's been a bit of a contact further down the field between some of the B-League drivers. All clean from the front half of the grid, and Thick Rogue leads them into turn 1 out of the first sector, with Bossman, Bossman, Wisely, Kazizzle, VSR Francis in 5th. Looking at LMC Will and Berra in the background. Button trying to go around the outside of Berra. As there's a Red Bull off track, that's Wisely. Wisely off track. Bossman now hangs in the lead of the race. He's got past Thick Rogue there. So it'll be interesting to see as there is battles developing further down the field. Let's have a look. Berra. Button hanging it around the inside. Wisely and Plexit's trying to go for a move as well. Bossman leads the end of the lead of the race at the end of sector 2 from Thick Rogue, Kazizzle, VSR Francis, LMC Will, Button. Small Guy down at the back of the field, and Small Guy retires. Small Guy out the race. He's the first casualty here in China on lap 1. I'm not sure if that's going to warrant a safety car or not, as VSR Francis has got a mile wide there, nearly going to Narnia. Kazizzle's trying to move on Thick Rogue, possibly down the straight, And he could hang it around the inside. He's going down the inside. Thick Rogue needs to cover it, because Sizzle hangs it up the inside of him, and that's a fair move. And Thick Rogue has actually lost 2 places as VSR Francis now comes through, and he's up to 3rd in his TFRL return. So at the end of lap 1, it's Bossman leading the way from Kazizzle, VSR Francis, Thick Rogue, LMC Will, your top 5, with Berra, Button, Wisely, Plexit, Deneen on the back of Plexit. Is he going to go for Move the Irishman? B-League on A-League here. Be interesting to see if he can try and hang it around the inside. He's just getting thrown off the camber though. Toad gets a 5-second stop go for speeding in the pits. Onyx Mur is also in the pits. I think both of them might have had a first corner collision, or first lap collision certainly. And Deneen right on the back as Kazizzle has just been overtaken with a late dive bomb from VSR Francis there. And VSR Francis is up to 2nd place. And he's making mincemeat at the rest of the field at the minute. And we've got a train of cars forming in the background, as Thick Rogue is now defending up LMC Will. Kazizzle, there's a yellow flag in Sector 1 further down the order. Be interesting to see who that might be. I think it might have just been for front wing damage, if I've got to be honest. Thick Rogue is trying it. LMC Will trying to go up the inside of Thick Rogue. Be interesting to see if he can get it done. Yellow flags in Sector 1 and Sector 2. I think it's Onyx Mur that's spun further down the order, and he leaves the session. LMC Will is now on the back of Thick Rogue. This is for 4th and 5th on track. And he's going up the inside. LMC Will on the mediums. Thick Rogue on the soft, sees him coming. Great respect between the two, and LMC Will now gets the move done as Deneen and Plexit are changing position. Plexit's getting outpaced, weirdly, by Deneen. And Deneen, as Plexit tries to hang around the inside, Plexit ups to go in the pits though. As we start lap 3, and Bossman has got an easy lead. 1.5 seconds at the minute, the Ferrari driver, leading the way. Lap 3 out of 28 we're on. And Francis hanging in 2nd, because Sizzle is pushing him though. He's right on the back, 5 tenths off him, 6 tenths off him now. LMC Will up to 4th. Be interesting to see if he can actually gain on this group. He is a bit in no man's land at the minute. He's 1.2 seconds off. But the way things are going, the 2 drivers ahead, they're on the soft tyres. Everyone's had free choice of tyres, of course, in this race. As Berra tries to look for a move on Thick Rogue, the 2 Dutchmen trying to go at it. The Williams against the Renault. Further down the order, Seraph is looking for a move on Deneen. Deneen defending off Seraph. Seraph's just got to be careful. Fidgeting Dragon, I think, is round. Oh, he's in the gravel. And where is that at? What on earth has happened there? Such a weird place. And Jamie Boy is out. Jamie Boy has crashed somewhere out on the track as well. I think that's in the middle sector somewhere. See where Plexit is? That's what see where Fidgeting Dragon is. He's on the right hand side there. He's been disqualified for being parked in a dangerous location, and Storm's out, and he's had a collision with David Wallbank. What on earth has happened there? Storm's car is out on track. David Wallbank picks up a 5-second stop go. Deneen trying to launch one up the inside of Seraph. Didn't quite pull it off. And Seraph has got 9th place. Deneen is trying to push him though in that Mercedes. He thinks he's Lewis Hamilton, but in actual fact he's more like a Valtteri Bottas at the minute, as we do have a battle for 2nd. Bossman still not trying to, he's not pulling away much. 1.5 seconds from VSR Francis in 2nd, and Kazizzle's right on the back of Fran now. Force India driver's got to defend off the Mercedes, because at any moment, if he gets close enough, Kazizzle will launch one up the inside and try and repay the favour on VSR Francis. Oh. As my voice starts to go, Toad is at the fastest lap of the race at the minute. And we have lost 4 drivers out on track, and Kazizzle now just losing a little bit of time to Fran, who is keeping that gap at 1.5 seconds. Everyone's not changing much. There's no real overtaking opportunities at the minute for anyone further down the order. Wiselig is getting closer to Berra though at the start of the straight. The 1 kilometre straight here in China, of course, is a great place for overtaking, and is Wiselig going to try and move on Berra? I wish we had a better camera angle than this to try and see the move. Jumping and diving out the slipstream. He's going to try it. No, he's not. He's backed off. And Wiselig didn't go for it there. Kazizel's getting on the back of Fran as well. Fran's got to be careful because Kazizel is all over the back of him now. DRS in operation. Clearly seems to me Kazizel has got a straight line speed setup on compared to Fran, who may have a cornering setup on. LMC Will in the background. Just holding up a little bit of a train there. With Thick Rogue, Berra and Wiselig in behind. Button is up to 8th. Current position changes are as follows. Fran, Toad and Onyx have gained 4 places. David Wallbank has gained 3 and the rest have gained 2, apart from Seraph and Billy, who have gained none. And losing 3 positions from the start of the race. LMC Will, Thick Rogue has also lost 3 positions from 2nd, and Wiselig from 4th has also lost 3 positions, with Plexit losing 6. And I think he did come in the pits sometime in the first couple of laps. As just have a look at the stream of cars coming through. Berra getting very wide in the background, and Toad has crashed out the race. So that's another one biting the dust here in TFRL A-League. So we're down to 15. Well, we're down to 14 technically, because Onyx Mers AI is still going around on track. And at the rate it's going, he could be getting points by the end of this race. It will be interesting to see. Yellow flag in sector 1. That is Toad's AI retiring. From there, as Berra tries to get past Thick Rogue, he's got to be careful. Wiselig just losing a little bit of time off the hairpin. And Fran picks up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. That was at the final corner. Very, very tricky place. There's a yellow flag in sector 1 and sector 2, which I think will be Toad's car. Getting out of the way of everyone. Nobody around him, which is good to see. Oh. 1 lap 6, and Bossman leads. 1.7 seconds. He has extended that gap by 2/10 or so, with Fran in 2nd, Kazizel currently sitting in 3rd. I think this is a great time to check the comment section. Let's have a look at the comment section. Formation lap, crap spatial awareness, crap, absolutely fuming. Well, we'll have a talk after this. Onyx has the default setup, I'm so dead, this is so impossible. Nobody has gone for a move yet, but Wiselig is getting closer to Berra. And this should be interesting to see down the straight as Toad leaves the session. So it is a shame to see people leaving the session, of course, but 13 drivers, excluding Onyx Mers AI, still going around on track. So we're already down 1/3 of the field, technically. It's Wiselig now closing on Berra. Is this the opportunity for him? Dutchman on Dutchman. Is Wiselig going to go around the outside of the hairpin? He's going to try it, you know. Wiselig around the outside. Berra keeps the inside and just blocks him off. And that is good defensive driving from Berra in the Renault. And he defends Wiselig and defends at 6th place. Very good defending there from Berra as Wiselig tries to close in. Once again in the DRS. Not closing up. He needs to get within that dirty air of around 3/10, and he's hunting around the inside as Berra's trying to go right around the outside. He takes a wider line compared to Wiselig, and Wiselig was trying to go for the deeper line. Deeper line does work, but the wide out line of Berra worked on that occasion, and Berra keeps the position for now. But Wiselig is right on the back. The gap to the lead has just gone within a second as well. So Fran is beginning to hunt down Bossman. Kazizel is being dragged along with Fran. That gap has just closed down slightly. It'll be interesting to monitor that throughout the course of the next couple of laps, especially as they come into the pit stops. Lap 7 of 28. We're reaching the end of lap 7. And Wiselig is close enough for a move on Berra. Is he finally going to try and get the move done? And again, Berra. Wiselig taking the deeper line, but the wide out line again is going to work here. Berra will get the traction off the corner, and he will keep the position for now. But for how long? As we've got to ride on board with Wiselig, trying to go for the move on Berra. And now, the slipstream is in operation, the DRS in operation. He's going to go diving up the inside. As we cut the broadcast cam beautifully there. And Wiselig gets the move done. Berra gives him plenty of space. Good sportsmanship between the two, and Wiselig has got that place. As now battle for the lead has developed. Bossman's tyres could be overheating, and Fran tries to hunt down The Scotsman trying to hunt down Bossman, and he's going up the inside for the lead of the race. He's going to try and dive it up there. He's going to try and go around the outside now. Bossman, switch back from Fran. Is he going to get the lead of the race? Perfect switch back from Fran. Side by side coming out of turn 3 is Fran and Bossman. Bossman, I think, might just keep the lead of the race. Fran is still going around the outside. Great racing between them both. Bossman gives him room. Bossman keeps the lead of the race. Great defensive driving by Bossman, but great attacking driving as well by Fran. Both of them giving no room for each other at all, and that is what we like to see from the drivers out on track. Plexus is in the pits, in the Ferrari, as his teammate leads the race. And now Bossman, because he's overheating those tyres, Fran is in the prime spot to take full advantage of this. It'll be interesting to see what tyre wear they're on. And look at Bossman getting off the camber. Easy picking for Fran here. If he goes up the inside, he will have DRS, of course. As they go down the straight, Bossman has got the straight line spin, and Kazizel's getting a double toe. Kazizel's going to have a say on this as well. As Fran now dives up the inside, he goes for an early break. Tries to force Bossman out wide. Kazizel's in there as well. Bossman might keep the lead just about. Up the inside. Fran hanging around the outside of the final corner. Kazizel is right in the slipstream, and Fran has got that move done just about. 3 wide into turn 1, and Kazizel's done them both up the middle. Oh, what a move by Kazizel. The both have taken the season so far. Will Fran trying to hang around the inside. Absolutely fantastic racing here between the Mercedes driver, the Force India, and Bossman. The double toe of Kazizel, absolutely OP in that situation. Fran is going to try it down the inside, but he breaks just well enough. Good job there's no contact there. Kazizel gets the lead of the race from an unpromising position. He takes full advantage of the double toe, says thank you very much, I'm up to the lead of the race, and Kazizel leads here in China on lap 9 out of 28. Fran in second, Bossman in third, and all of this battling has brought LMC Will, as Bossman runs wide there, and now Will can try and go for a move. He doesn't think about it. Thick Rogue and Wisely are also coming into this battle as well. So we've now got a 4-way battle for the lead here in China. At the minute, Kazizel has got enough to maintain the advantage, I think, down the straight. It'll be interesting to see if Fran and Bossman and Will can close up. Kazizel currently has the straight line speed. Fran with his late dive bombs can try and go for a move. Will is going for something in the background. Trying to nib up the inside of Bossman there. Didn't quite pull it off. Wisely as well on the back of Thick Rogue. As we start lap 10 out of 28 here in China. And the first one to pit is Wisely, as Will is trying to go around the outside and switch to the inside of Bossman. He's going up the inside for third. Will's got him. Will has got him for third. Bossman has not given up the position lightly, but he does. And LMC Will now up to third. And their mediums are beginning to come into things. And this is going to be... this will be the Will of who wants it most. And speaking of Will, he's in third. Bossman in fourth. Wislickers came out behind Billy and Duneen, who are battling. Sarah falls so close to Button. But we'll stay on board with the lead of the race for now. As Kazizel only leads by 4/10. Fran is just hanging in there at the minute. It looks like he's going to utilise the straight line speed. As Kazizel locks up there. LMC Will third. David Warbank in the pits further down the order. And Bossman in fourth. As we are approaching the end of lap 11 in China. And Kazizel leading the way just about. He's getting closed down. Fran is going to try and go for a move up down the inside. He's going to commit it. Fran up the inside of Kazizel for the lead of the race. Kazizel purely gets the track shot recorder though and keeps the lead of the race for now. It'll be interesting to see which one of these four are going to blink first. Will it be Kazizel? Will it be Fran, who is going to try something into turn 1, I think, around the outside of turn 1? Surely not. Fran around the outside of turn 1. Is he going to try and switch it back to the inside? Kazizel's just keeping him out wide. And fantastic driving from Kazizel and Fran again. Kazizel keeps the lead of the race, but for how long is he going to keep that battle for? Oh, he's started up the inside. That's a very cheeky move by Fran for the lead of the race, and he gets it done. Kazizel was forced off track slightly there, but it's a fair move. It's a Danny Rick move, and it's job done for Fran. He currently leads the lead of the race, but LMC Will has now tagged on to this back train between Fran, Kazizel and Will. Bossman still overheating those tyres, but he is getting them back up to temperature, I think. Thick Rogue lurking in the background as well in 5th. Kazizel trying to go for a late move on Fran there, as they approach the hairpin again to pretty much finish lap 12, and Fran now has the advantage. He has got the lead of the race. He is pulling away. Will is now very, well, he's attacking Kazizel, and Fran is quite vulnerable down the straight. Will's going to launch it from a mile back. Kazizel keeps the inside. 5-second stop go for Will. I think that's justified. He shouldn't have went for that move, I don't think. It'll be interesting to see if LMC Will, as Bossman is the first of those 4 to come into the pits, and Thick Rogue has followed in behind. Berry not coming in. Let's watch the pit stop unfold. Actually, let's watch Will up the inside of Kazizel. This is for 2nd place on track. Kazizel's a mile wide out track. Kazizel forcing up the inside there. He's going to try and come back across him. Oh, Will getting a bit of snap of oversteer from the corner, and Will trying his hardest. He's trying his heart out to try and get Kazizel, but he's trying it too often, and he is overheating those mediums now. There is a bit of graining now on that right front, as Kazizel just shuts the door again on him. Will is going to try and have it up the inside. This is a bit rash, but has he got it done? Kazizel launches one up the inside. Will should now have the position. Kazizel hangs it around the outside. Yellow flag in sector 3, which is David Wallbank, I think. That is David Wallbank. Will does have the position, but for how long? Because Kazizel's right over the back of him. Let's check the comments quickly. Lixa commenting in the comment section. I will get to those in just a minute. Seraph is not closing up on Button, but Kazizel is now closing up on Will. He's going to try and dive it down the inside. Will giving him no room at all. And, oh, that's a 10-second time penalty for him. A 10-second time penalty, and the leader's in. The leader is in. Kazizel in. Will can go a little bit longer on those tyres, I think, but he should react. Bossman came out in 7th, and he is ahead of Wiselig. So it'll be interesting to see how these pit stops unfold. Seraph has passed Button, who is in the pits as well. Bossman out the final corner. Fran just about to come out of the pits. This is going to be very close, I think. Bossman there on the right hand side. Watch out for Fran. Fran is going to get out ahead, but Bossman is up to 2nd. Bossman up to 2nd, and Kazizel is the one that's lost out of this. Kazizel is the one that has lost out of this. So he in turn now, as Wiselig did pit early, if I recall, he has already made a pit stop and he's on those mediums. So Kazizel is the one that has lost time out of all of this. And currently in the net lead of the race, it is VSR Francis. And it's TFRL Return leading the way, from Bossman in 2nd, Wiselig in 3rd, with Thick Rogue now attacking Kazizel in the background. Let's cut to the broadcast cam to watch Thick Rogue trying to move on Kazizel. Is he? He just thinks about it, but backs off at the last moment there. As Bossman tries to go for the net lead of the race, and look at this net lead for the race. 5 tenths at one point there, just before the hairpin, separating the top 3 essentially on track, as Bossman is now within the slipstream of Fran. I think Fran might just have a buffer to play with here. He's going to try and defend it as much as he can. Bossman is going to launch one up the inside. He's outbroken himself though. He's got the car stopped, and he's just forced wide. Oh, Wiselig's up in the lead of the race. Wiselig takes full advantage. Fran forced wide by Bossman outbreaking himself, and Wiselig goes for a spin, and it's all change again, and Bossman now up to the net lead of the race. Will and Seraph are the only two not to pit, and Fran now going around the outside of turn 1. This is breathless stuff here in TFRL tonight. Can Fran possibly try and get past Wiselig? Is he even going to try and get past Bossman? He should just wait until the DRS and try and get the double toe like Kazizzle did on him in early on in the race. We are through halfway as Fran now launches up the inside of Wiselig again, trying to go for a late move. He's got the car ahead. Wiselig gets side by side through the left-hander, but great racing again, and Wiselig is still somehow in next second as Fran now tries it up the inside again. This time he should have the move done, and he does. Fran gets the move done, forced out wide. Oh, I think he's desynced there. He has desynced. He's just appeared on track. Bit of connection issues possibly for Fran there for a brief second. All of this battling is letting Bossman getting away, and it is letting Kazizzle and Thick Road getting on the active things as well. Seraph and Will are still to pit, and them two I think are going to be coming right out in this battle. Wiselig tries to go for a move on Fran. Not quite enough. As it stands though at the minute, Wiselig will keep the lead of the championship and will lose his run of second places from Australia and Bahrain because he's currently sitting in net third. Kazizzle begins to hunt them down. Is Wiselig going to try and go for a move at turn 1? He is. Just backs off at the last second though. Quite wise from Wiselig if I've got to be honest. No pun intended there. And VSR Francis doing the VSR brand proud again. A little bit of lag coming from his end. But it's now just settled down a little bit. And at the minute, Bossman is in the net lead of the race. He's currently 8 seconds behind Seraph, who in turn is about 10 seconds behind Bossman. As we see the sweeping shots from the camera angle, Kazizzle is trying to get closer to Wiselig. Bit of a battle going on between Plexit and Deneen. Plexit's around the outside of Deneen. This should be job done. Lovely move by Plexit around the outside on his TFRL debut. He's up to 11th place. Deneen is going to try and launch one down the inside. He's got to be careful though. Plexit is aware of the danger. And Plexit keeps around the outside, and Plexit gets the job done once again. Deneen now just backs him off and gives him room. And Plexit should now have this move completed, at least until the DRS zone. Deneen might be just over-aggressing himself as we go back to the battle for the net lead of the race. And that time now between Bossman and Seraph is beginning to fall. But remember, Fran has picked up a 3-second time penalty, and speaking of picking up 3-second time penalty right on cue, Bossman has picked up a 3-second time penalty. So this in turn equals things out between Bossman and Fran. Wiselig is coming. Oh, Fran's gone up the inside of Bossman into turn 3. Round the outside. Surely not from Fran. This will be a perfect move if he pulls this off. Oh, what a move. Fran pulls it off and he goes up the lead of the race. But will Bossman come back at him up the inside? He's going to have to be forced round the outside by Fran. And that is picture perfect driving from the Scotsman. VSR Francis takes back the net lead of the race. Bossman now in second. Wiselig and Kazizzle are closing down quickly in behind. This is going to make the final 12 laps. As you can tell, I'm beginning to lose my voice in commentary, which is not always good. I am, however, going to... Oh, actually, no, I'm not. Fran keeps the lead of the race, though, but the helicopter cam giving away. No clues at all. Bossman could be close enough to launch one down the inside. Let's just have a look. Wiselig now dropping off. And LMC Will is in the pits. So the Sauber driver in the pits. From the lead of the race. He's currently in. Fran is just out the second last corner. So it should be a no-brainer really. Seraph is still continuing. Will now coming into his pit box. Thick Road picks up a 3-second time penalty for cutting the last corner. And Will is going to be all the way down in 7th place, I think. No, he's going to be out behind Berra. So he's out behind Berra and he's out in 8th place. But he has got the quicker tyre on, the softs. Whether they can last 11 laps is another question. I personally don't think they can. Because of China being a high-wearing track, I personally don't think they can last 11 laps. Or certainly they'll be quite worn at the end of this race. As Bosman now reaches back of Fran once again. Little train developing. Fran has got a little bit of a train developing in behind him. Let's just have a look at the current intervals between them. Let's have a look at the gap between Fran and Kazil. Currently it's 2 seconds separating 4 drivers, so in turn they're all about 5/10 away from each other on average. That is not the case at this stage, as Weisling is further behind Bosman and Kazil is also further behind. And Bosman is coming for Fran around the outside at the hairpin. Outbreaks himself. Gets the run off the corner. He's still going to be there around the outside into the final corner. Seraph in the pits. So he's going to come out, I think, behind Will. As Bosman tries to go for the lead of the race. Lap 18 out of 28. Possibly the best race this season. Maybe one of the best races you'll ever see in TFRL. And it's not over yet. Fran leads the way from Bosman, who is going to hunt him down. Let's have a look. On board with Bosman. Keep an eye out for Weisling because there's a limb behind. As the gap between Fran and Kazizel all the way down to 4th, separated by 1.5 seconds now. Not 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds. That gap is close enough. Onyx Merzai has just come in the pits. Further down the order, Will is closing up on Berra. Let's briefly go on board with Will to see if he is closing up, and he can tell with the amount of grip that is on the soft tyres at the minute, Will should get a move done on Berra pretty soon. Let's just watch. He should go for it here if anywhere. Will is going to try and go for the inside. Dives up the inside. Berra is aware of it. Little bit of contact on the rear. As you can see, the leaders flying through shot in the background. Will now going down the inside of Berra. He's going to give him plenty of room. There is a yellow flag in sector 3. Who is absolutely nobody. But everyone keeps their positions. LMC Will though up to 6th, and he is beginning to hunt down the leaders. So Will now up to 6th, passing Berra. And that is a picture perfect move from the Sauber driver. David Wallbank picks up a 3-second time penalty. I think it might have been David Wallbank in the final sector, who is getting... if David Wallbank is listening to us on, or listening to me on commentary, please get out of the way of this battle, because I do want to see it. And I think we've got 2 separate battles now developing between Fran and Bosman. Weisling and Kazizel just losing a little bit of time. Bosman again just outbreaking himself into the corners, again costing him a little bit of time. If David can get out of the way of these battling 4 drivers, it'll be much appreciated. Let's see where he is in comparison to these. Fran is coming through the back of shot, so he's got about 2 seconds at the minute. Oh, and Wallbank is off track. He should just let these go. Please let them go. Thank you very much. There we go. Perfect. You've drawn quite dangerously, if I've got to be honest. But if you can get out of the way of Thick Rogue as well, because I've just realised Thick Rogue is now closing in on this battle. Wallbank again. Not trying to thingy. Not close enough for a move this time around, Bosman. Fran has currently got the lead of the race. I'm just going to quickly check my controller. It is fully charged. Fantastic. So, with now, as they come through to start lap 20 out of 28 here in China, VSR Francis leads the way. From Bosman in 2nd, Weisling 3rd, Kazizel in 4th, Thick Rogue currently sitting in 5th. Will has now pulled away from Berra, but not as the rate as we were expecting him to. Berra 7th, Button 8th, Seraph in 9th and is closing on the back of him. Is he close enough for a move? Not quite this time around, possibly in the next lap, or possibly down the straight. As David Wallbank actually got Has David Woolbank let through thick rogue? Yes, he has. Good to see sportsmanship at its finest here in TFRL. And he is the final human driver going around on track, of course, with Onyx Mir's AI going. We have lost Toad, Storm, Jimmy Boy, Smulger and Fidgeting Dragon, so for the B-League drivers and an A-League driver out the race. As Fidgeting Dragon did get disqualified for being parked in a dangerous location. I will have to review the footage later on, as I'm going to quickly check the comments. Soft's easy 11 laps on low fuel load. Yeah, but then again, China is quite a high wearing track. Fran, at the minute, is in the prime spot to win this race. I'm just going to quickly check the penalty situation. Fran has got a penalty early on in the race. Busman has a penalty. Wiseleak has not even got a warning yet, because this will get a penalty. Thick Rogue has got a penalty. That's the top 5 for you. Let's go on board with Berra and Will. Let's go on board with Seraph and Button. In the meantime, the McLaren driver, defending off the Force India driver. Seraph, of course, looking for retribution after his first 2 races. Didn't have the run of things last time out in Bahrain, where he did finish 10th, but he was quite unlucky in that. He finished 5th, but was quite unlucky in that race. And of course he only scored a point in Australia by finishing 10th there. As Plexit gets a move done on Billy further down the order. Nice move by the Ferrari driver. He's now up into the point scoring position. And Plexit showing why he is one of TFRL's finest up and coming talents. Recently replacing ex-Lexand. Billy is trying to go for a move. That is quite silly if he does go for a move. There is a yellow flag in Sector 1, which is Deneen, who was spun at turn 2. Just found the right-hander. Wisely right on the back of Boltzmann. Under the braking zone. Is he going to try and get the switch back and try and get the run off the corner? Not quite. Lap 22 out of 28 about to begin. Fran has an extended margin of 1.2 seconds from Boltzmann in second, Wiselig in third. Currently, as it stands, he is in the prime spot to take the win of this race. At the minute, because of the penalties, he is in the prime spot to take the win of this race, which will be his first ever win in TFRL. And in fact, saying that, the top 4, it could be their first wins in TFRL. In fact, I would go as far as to say the top 5 in TFRL, top 6, top 7 in TFRL are currently looking for their first win in the league, as Billy is pitted. Obviously he wants to go ultras, I think, and try and go for that fastest lap point. And it will be interesting. And if you think A-League was good, B-League is tomorrow night, same time, same place, same commentator. I.e. me, James Head 14. Yellow flag in Sector 2. Who has gone for a bit of a spin there? Looked like it might have been Berra. Just confirm that. In fact, I think it might have been David Woolbank or Berra. One of those two coming through the same section. Wiselig again closing up the Boltzmann. He's not close enough for a move this time around. He's just got to try and sit and wait. Of course, this track does harbour the 2 DRS points instead of the traditional 1 DRS point, which only used to be on the straight in the F1 2017 game. There is now a DRS point. DRS point on the straight. Now there is a DRS point on down into turn 1. It is coming over a little bit more cloudier in shot at the minute. And Fran is struggling to pull away from Boltzmann and Wiselig. And if he can pull out a 1.4 second gap further, he will have the win of this race. In fact, he just needs to pull out a second, because Wiselig is now dropping off Boltzmann. So now he's put the hammer down, and Fran now is beginning to extend his lead a little bit. Boltzmann's tyres may be overheating just a bit. 1.9 seconds, he has lost a little bit of time this lap. Lap 23 out of 28. And Fran currently leads the way. The Scotsman representing the VSR esports brand. Fantastic to have him racing. I think my gamble to have him racing has simply paid off at this stage. It will pay off even more if he can get the win of the race. Bossman in second. Let's go on board with Wisely because he is close enough potentially for a move. I don't think he is though. Would be silly if he tries it. He is going for it. He can spike up the inside if he can. Not quite. Again, Fran just making a little bit of a mistake there in the background of shot. Still leading the race. There's a yellow flag in sector 3 who is probably David Wallbank. It is David Wallbank at the hairpin. He could be close to getting lapped by Onyx Mers AI if he's not careful. Yellow flag in sector 1. Now, somebody's off at the final corner, I think. No, somebody wasn't off at the final corner. 7th is still trying to close on Button further down the order. 8th and 9th. And currently filling out the top 10 positions are the A-League drivers here tonight, which is very good to see. But Fran, just after that slight mistake, just might have knocked his confidence a little bit. And it will be interesting. Well, it won't be interesting to see. He just has to pull out that gap. It is simple as that. He just has to pull out that gap a little bit further if he wants to try and win the race. Bossman and Wisely have got to get battling. A hard, aggressive battle between them two will see Fran winning this race. He will have DRS, I think, off Onyx Mers AI here. Has he got DRS off Onyx Mers AI? Bit of a free... And he has. He's got a freebie off Onyx Mer. And this is going to help him. VSR Francis gets a bit of a help from Onyx Mer. And it's Bossman, sorry. Now under pressure from Weisig. And he's trying it up the inside this time. Is he going to get the move done? Weisig has got the move done. Very nice indeed. And now the battle will begin between these two. Fran is in the prime spot to take the win of this race. But he has got to go on those tyres. He's been 12 laps on those mediums with 4 laps to go. He has got to pull out another second on Boastman and on Wisely. He's got to pull out 1.3 seconds on Wisely and a second on Boastman. No pressure, Fran, but you can do this. It is just a case of if these two get battling, and that is maybe just what he needed. A little bit of a half spin from Wisely. Bossman trying it up the inside. This is what Fran definitely needs. Bossman forces him off track. And he lets him go. And Wisely says thank you very much for that. And that is within 3 seconds. He's now got a 2.5 second gap. Just keep an eye on the gaps, because that will tell who will win this race. At the minute, Fran is not doing enough to win. 2.4 seconds the lead. Approaching the end of lap 25, going on to lap 26. And Weislig now 2.3 seconds. Hayal's got ahead now of Bossman, but he's got no DRS. He's got nobody to help him. Saying that, neither is Fran, and Bossman is the only one that can try and close up. Weislig has got the straight line speed set up. Fran has got to be better in the corners than Weislig. He has got to hope Weislig picks up some sort of penalty in this race. Running wide at the final corner. And he is closing. They're both closing now. He's not doing enough. Fran is simply not doing enough to win this race. Weislig, currently in second. Now getting chased down by Bossman. Bossman has got to try something to try and disrupt the momentum of Weislig, who is now beginning to charge. Those tyres would have reached peak performance by now. So he is on possibly the best of his tyres right now. 1.6 seconds. He is closing them down. The gap is just fluctuating a little bit. It's now out to 1.8. This gap will keep fluctuating with just 2.5 laps to go. Fran currently leads this race by 1.8 seconds, but penalties are going to definitely play a factor in this race. He's extending the gap out now to 2 seconds. And I think Fran has been very wise here. I've just noticed his DRS. He's ERS. He's got 70%. Use it down the straight, man. Get the pace down the straight. Use it down the straight and save it up through the corners. That's what I think he's trying to do. He's currently in ERS mode 2. Wisely on overtake mode slightly there. Just beginning to close him back up. Fran may be waiting for a last lap flyer, potentially to win this race. But he's got to pull it out the bag, and mistakes like that aren't going to help him. Wisely still in second. Berra gets a 5-second stop for corner cutting. And he has made a mistake at the hairpin there. Seraph trying to get Button as well. Still further down the order, that battle rages on. But, prime reaction, as Boltzmann has made a mistake. Boltzmann has made a mistake. He's overheated those tyres, I think. He's running out of fuel. Third place at the minute is settled for him. It's now all up to Fran as David Wallbank has crashed. Has spun around at just before the hairpin. I think he's got to be careful because the leaders are approaching that section of the track. Billy is about to be lapped as well. Deneen already lapped. Enough at the minute. He has got to use this ERS up on the straight and try and push it with just under 2 laps to go. We are approaching the end of China. My drive of the day will balance on this final lap. We'll be hanging by a thread. If Fran can pull out 1.6 seconds, he's got the fresher tyres. He is now going to go for that last lap assault and try and pull away from Wiselig. He has got to go for it. As David Wallbank now retires out the session. Wiselig is coming. He hasn't got much ERS left though. 16% compared to Fran's 40-odd%. Fran is in the prime spot to take the win. Wiselig has got to either pick up a 3-second time penalty here, make a mistake, or, well, yeah, he's just got to... Something has got to happen. Fran, ooh! And that might be the nail in the coffin. Pushing a little bit too hard, Fran. Maybe a bit too hard for his and my liking there. 1.5 seconds. He's now beginning to pull out that gap. He's gone on the hot lap mode. He has got to try and nick this from Wiselig. Wiselig is currently getting his first TFRL win as it stands. Fran, though, has got to try his hardest. He's got to pull out 1.5 seconds in this final sector. Which is... It sounds impossible, but it can be done. Wiselig needs to make a mistake to force the issue. And Fran currently has the gap, but he's not doing enough. Wiselig now in the same ERS mode. It is all down to if Wiselig cuts potentially either the second to last corner or the final corner. Fran is coming around the final 2 corners now. Wiselig though, hunting them down all the way to the line. Fran comes around the final corner. Fran is going to come across the line in first and win here in China, but it's going to be Wiselig's victory on penalties. Wiselig takes the win. Fran in second. Boltzmann in third. Kazizel will get fourth after an extensive penalty haulage from him. Thick Rogue now jumps up to fourth. Will now up to fifth. Kazizel in sixth. Berra will get seventh. In 8th place is going to be Button if he can defend off Seraph in the background. And Button does defend off Seraph in the background to take 8th. Seraph in 9th. Plexit is going to come across the line in 10th. And Billy and Deneen always outpaced in the background. In the back of shot, pretty much at the back of this race for the majority. Deneen will be coming across the line first out of all of these, and he is, well, I don't know what he's trying to do. I mean, doing donuts like that, he will be getting a penalty for tomorrow, for his B-League race tomorrow, and at the minute he is currently being an absolute joke, as you can tell. He is celebrating absolutely nothing. He's got no points at all. He should be disqualified from the result if he keeps on doing this. Deneen now coming across the line, finally. Took your time. Billy now comes across the line, and Billy is going to do the same thing. I mean, this is an absolute joke from these two. Both of them clearly don't know how to drive. Billy has got to come across the line any second now. I hope he does. And there we go. We're finally finished here in A-League after two absolute mongoloids doing donuts on the track. But your podium celebrations will begin, and it is premature for Fran, who he thought he had it in the bag, but simply that 3-second time penalty, if he did not get that and Wisely got a penalty, it would have been a different story. Fran would have won this race, but Wisely takes the win here in China. From second place is VSR Francis, and Bossman, again, if he didn't make that mistake, that would have been a third place finish for him, as we see the grid order coming up any second now. Hopefully I do get participation. I don't even get participation in the session. Absolutely disgraceful. Wisely, though, wins here in China. 1.3 seconds was all between VSR Francis and a potential victory. So Wisely takes the win. Fran in second, Bossman in third, Thick Rogue in fourth, Will on those soft tyres in fifth, Kazizzle in sixth, Berra in seventh, Button in eighth, Seraph in ninth, and Plexit in 10th place, with Billy, Deneen, Onyx Mur also finishing the race. We had David Wallbank, Toad, Storm, Jamie Boy, Small Guy, Fidgeting Dragon, and we did also have Hammerers as well in the background, as I'm now going to unmute some of the guys to do some interviews. I hope they can all hear me. You are now live on the stream. Please do not swear. If anybody is there, I hope they are. You're having a bit of an argument.
There is a bit of an argument going on because of the whole Kazizzle and Will battle.
Mm-hmm. Care to explain? Because I don't think I saw it.
It was the one where the 5 seconds where he went over the thing when he was trying to go on a move.
Oh yeah, I'll have a look in the footage in that. I'll have a look at the footage in that after this race, and I will obviously form up an incident report. Just to say, by the way, before we begin, well, of course these guys are actually arguing, so but B-League tomorrow, there are several drivers that have got penalties, so if you are one of these drivers, please take your penalty tomorrow. Niels, who might be listening to the stream, might not be, he's got a formal warning and a 3-second time penalty from the last race in Bahrain. Lightning Reb also has a formal warning for a collision in Bahrain. Jacko and David Wallbank are the two most notable ones. Jacko 2001 has a qualifying ban, as does David Wallbank. Now, David is already made aware of this. Participating tonight in A-League didn't forsake his qualifying ban. He didn't take his qualifying ban here, so he will still have to take that qualifying ban tomorrow night. And as well as Jacko, both of them bit too aggressive driving for my liking. If they can just tone it down a bit this race, and if they get into a battle and they tone it down a bit, that'd be absolutely perfect from both of them. But I can feel my voice going. I feel physically unwell. I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.